Hey YouTube! So my channel is basically just going to be about girls. Anything you want. Whatever you want. Suggest it. Ask it. Just anything about girls basically. Their lives, what they like, what they do, what they have. Anything. Boys, makeup, school, anything. Except not too much about boys because I've never actually had a boyfriend. That's because the guys at my school suck. Big time. Unfortunately, but that doesn't really matter. It's not such a big deal. Focus on school. That's the most important. So, yeah, my first topic today will be periods, because I know there's a lot of young girls out there wondering what it's like. And they've heard a lot of stuff, but they don't really know very much about it. So, I'm here to tell you just that. It's pretty much your uterus, which is up in your vagina. It's where the baby's held when you have a baby. If you have a baby. And it's pretty much, they have walls on either side, and it builds up, and then when you don't, each month when you don't get fertilized, so when you don't have sex and have like the sperm part and stuff in you, then it just breaks down because it goes, okay, there's no baby in here, so let's just move this thing away. I don't need it anymore. I don't really get why. I think it's because it needs a fresh one every month for the baby. I'd love to say that periods aren't what you've heard, but they really are kind of bad. But not so much as in the summer. Summer's the worst because you always want to swim and stuff, and you can't because you have your period. And you can use tampons, but I personally don't like tampons. I will tell you about more of that later. So my first time was when I was like in grade 12. When I was 12. Sorry, I'm not in grade 12 yet. And that's usually the good time for when people have their periods. So you might be early and you might be late. That's totally normal. So basically what happened was I was going into the classroom and then I felt like I peed in my pants. So when I got in, I just asked the teacher to go to the bathroom. And so when I went to the bathroom, I checked my underwear and there was just a dot there. So I was like, ooh, I guess I have my period. But I didn't really worry about it too much. I mean, I knew what it was, of course, but I didn't worry about it because it wasn't such a big, like, thing in my pants. So, yeah, and then when I got home after school, I got a little bit more. So then I started to worry. I'm like, oh, crap, what do I do now? I don't know anything about this stuff except that you bleed. So then I called my mom, and she said just get a pad. And so if you don't know what a pad is, this is a pad. So basically, this is the wings, and you don't have to get the wing ones. It just depends on who you are and whether you want the wings or not. I personally like the wings better because they sound better and they're wider. And the wingless ones are not very wide, and you get some on your underwear sometimes, which kind of sucks. So basically, this part goes on the underside of your underwear, the part that doesn't go against your skin. And then the underside of this, that part goes in the underwear that touches your skin, but it won't touch your skin anymore because you have the pad on. So what type of pad to get? Well, you can get any like brand you want. I choose Always because that's what most people have, and it's just the one I like, so that's the one I have. So you can do whatever one you want and just basically just go and try them if you want. You can try them all. You can do whatever you want. Depending on like what size, it depends on who you are, if you're heavy or you're light. I'm a heavy person, so I get the biggest sizes, and then for night times I use just the overnight ones, and I use the biggest size. I'll show you now. Hold on, they just kind of fell on the floor. Okay. So, if you look, there are 3 sizes there. There's big size, medium size, and small size. I get the biggest size. When you're sleeping, you actually go more than you do during the day. Well, it just feels like you have more because you're sleeping. And you wake up and then you just weigh more. So I use the longest ones because when you're sleeping, it goes down more. So I would suggest sleeping on your side, because if you sleep on your back or your stomach, it's easier for it to go down and onto your underwear and everything else. And that will happen even if you sleep on your side. It will actually go onto your sheets a couple of times, and that's totally normal. Just wash them and it'll come out. So, with tampons, I don't like tampons because they're really hard to get in. Because they're kind of painful. Like to get in. You get used to it, I bet, but also they're kind of messy because you're having your period, right? So you're bleeding while you're trying to get it on, so it's like, yeah. So basically I can show you what it is, but I don't really have one, but I can like try to say have imaginary one here. I don't know, I think this is like about the size, maybe a bit bigger, but that's not actually the whole thing. It's just like the part that you have to like push up. So there's a stick part here, and then there's like the part, plastic like cover that has the cotton inside, which is actually the part that goes inside your vagina. So what you do is you just push up the thing, and once you put it in your vagina, you don't put the stick part in though. You just touch, like when the stick part is almost in your vagina, you stop, and then you press the stick up, and the cotton comes out into your vagina, and then you just pull the plastic parts out, and then it'll be in your vagina, and there'll be a string hanging there for when you need to take it out. I don't like tampons also because you don't know when you're like ready to take it out. With pads, you can just go to the bathrooms, look at it, and say, okay, so I have this much, I can take it out now, or I can just carry on for like another hour or something. And that's the good thing about pads. But you should really make sure, even if you're like light, you should change it at least every 3 hours, because you can cause an infection, and especially with tampons, because they're inside your body and it's moist in there, and they can create bacteria if you leave it in there for too long. Your period cycle, I would recommend starting from when the day you get it. That's the first day, and you start counting from that day, and you count. And once you get to the 28th day, you make a mark. And then on the 29th, make a mark, and the 30th. And you should come around that time. You might be later, and you might be earlier. It's totally normal. I'm a late person. I usually get it 2 days late, a week, 2 weeks, and sometimes even a month. And yes, sometimes you will skip periods. It's totally normal. But if you're like really, really irregular, I would go see a doctor because there might be something wrong. So, emotions, do you get really angry? Yes, you get angry easily, and you get irritated easily. Like the smallest thing will make you irritated, and you will like yell your lungs off. Also, you'll want to eat a lot, especially chocolate for some reason. You just have a craving. But do make sure you drink a lot of water or tea, because that keeps you hydrated. Plus, it actually apparently helps to shorten your period. Also, if you have cramps, use a hot water bottle or heating pad, and that also helps to shorten it. I don't know how, but it does. I read it online. And talking about cramps, not everybody gets them. I only get them when like the first day I have my period or the day before, and they last, it depends on who you are. Mine lasts almost like a day, and they can be either like really painful, or they can be kind of like there but you don't really notice it, just kind of a weird feeling. One time I had it really, really bad that I couldn't even move. It was really sore, but that was once like a really long time ago, so you don't have to worry. But I would always make sure you know when your cycle is, because then you can wear one of these. This is what I wear when I'm like almost done my period, or about to begin it, because then at least like you have this just in case stuff come out. Because even if you're done your period, extra stuff will come out like a day later or 2 days later. I don't know why, but it just does. So you just want that in case you don't want to like mess your underwear. And you will get your underwear messed a lot during your period, so don't wear all that one underwear that you love. Oh yes, when you're sitting and you stand up, like if you've been sitting for a while, you will get like it all flow out, because I think when you're sitting it doesn't really flow out very well. So when you stand, it'll feel like you're just like peeing out like a bunch, but that's totally okay. And be careful when you go to the bathroom. Just make sure you don't feel, if you feel like that stuff is coming out, then don't take your underwear off, because it'll like drip down. And so just wait for it to stop, and then take your underwear off, and then sit down, and then take a pad and take it off and replace it, or whatever you want to do. Pee, whatever. Also, with like showering or bathing, make sure you put a pad on an underwear before you go in, so that when you get out, you can just get out, wipe yourself, and then put it on, because otherwise you're gonna drip. Also, I would have like this extra like towel you use to wipe your vagina when you get out of the bath or shower, because it might actually still be there, and you don't want to wipe it with your towel, because then that'd be bad. and then put that to wash and just use another one the next day because you don't want to use the same one all the time. So I think that's basically it I can say about periods. If I missed anything or if you have any other questions, just comment below and I will answer them. And if you have any suggestions, please leave them below. Thank you very much for watching, guys.